Okay, it's the day after Halloween, and it's time to go over my holiday treats. I'm going to focus on all the different pumpkin-related treats that are available this year, 2020. I want to include all the pumpkins, like Reese's pumpkins, and then the Snickers has a new pumpkin, Russell Stover's has a pumpkin, and then ChocZero has a pumpkin. It has a couple pumpkin products I'm going to compare, because they don't have an exact match. But you'll see there's a basis for comparison there. What I'm going to do is weigh each one and try it out and let you know what I think. So let's start with the classic Reese's peanut butter pumpkins. They were the first in the market with the pumpkin. And the peanut butter stuffing, of course, is just a natural. Very popular product. How does that give these out? Get more kids? And I'm going to do something a little different this time. Instead of biting them, I'm going to cut them with a knife so you can get a better idea of what they look like inside. Okay? Okay, so the first step is to weigh it. Just turn on the scale. Looks like that'll read okay. This is probably going to be the heaviest one. And it's 35.2 grams. I hope it's not 352 grams. That would be pretty heavy. If it was, no. Okay, so let's cut it. Much nicer than just taking a bite out of it. And some people found that when you take a bite out of something in a taste test, it feels unsanitary somehow and you don't like it. So it's better to cut with a knife when you do these things. So there's a thick layer on top and there's a very thin layer at the bottom, so it's not evenly coated in chocolate. And actually it is a very peanut butter heavy product. There's really not much chocolate in it. It wouldn't be so bad to have chocolate chunks or something inside the peanut butter. But you go to Reese's for peanut butter, so let's see what it tastes like. Very sweet, not a creamy peanut butter. Kind of like a grainier, powdery, not like powder, but a granular peanut butter. Not so much with chunks of peanut in it, but just very, very fine chunks of peanut. That's so good, I gotta have another piece. The chocolate itself is almost like a Hershey's chocolate, almost like a hot chocolate kind of flavor. But very sweet. It says 170 calories per serving, but it tastes like an absolute sugar bomb. Now the Snickers at 210 calories per serving. Sounds pretty substantial. Let's take a look at that. And we'll put the crackers back there. I'll put these up here. Bring this back into view. So let's do Snickers next. Alright, look at that. Now these pumpkins got some expression to them. They got faces on them, they got little grins. Looks like they've only got one pattern. Hope you can see that. Let it catch in the highlight. Let's see how much one of these weighs. .42 grams. That's more than the Reese's. Let's cut it open and see what it looks like. Gonna give the pumpkin a lobotomy. Well, it's pretty stiff. That chocolate has got some body to it, I can tell already. Oh, look at that, the bottom fell off. Well, that's fortunate for us because now we get to look at how thick the bottom piece is of chocolate. I'm going to sample the chocolate. I always like Snickers chocolate. not overpoweringly sweet. It's not overly sweet, but it's always very firm and chewy in your mouth. It's great for chewy nougat type treats. Let's try the rest of it. It's like a Snickers bar. A Snickers bar that looks like a pumpkin. Next up, Russell Stover. Ripping the label, didn't want to do that. Hope you can still read that later. Okay, so Russell Stover's made a nice single serving pumpkin treat. Okay, try to get the highlights again, but I'm not sure what that looks like to you on the other side of the video, but this pumpkin pattern, it's a little nondescript to say the least. It kind of looks like a praline or a cookie or a walnut, like a Halloween walnut. Let's see how much it weighs. .1, so this is the lightest one so far. I'm going down in order of weight now. Let's see the shell to peanut butter ratio on this. The chocolate kind of wants to shatter. And pull that loose. It's actually not got much chocolate on it. It's just a lot of filling. Oh, that's kind of like almost like a gumdrop in texture. It's got a slow melt time. That's not peanut butter. That's caramel apple. How about that? I didn't even look at the thing before I opened it up. So this part here is still the chocolate, and this is the gummy caramel apple inside. So I was right, it was a praline. A truffle, if you will. And not a truffle to be trifled with, because that's pretty damn tasty. Because that's really tasty. Okay, so not an exact comparison, but that's okay because this next thing is also not going to be so precise. I'm going to show you two products from a brand called ChocZero. Zoom in on that, see that? ChocZero. First we're going to weigh it. Now this is out of a large bag of many pieces. It's not really even packaged for a single use. But they got the best pumpkin face, and it weighs 5 grams. Check out the face in this guy. This has got a lot of character to it. This little guy. The white chocolate is very, very creamy. I noticed already this is very good cocoa oil flavor. And the alternative sweetening does not step in the way of the sweetness or the genuine flavor at all. So you would have to compare a few of these to the pumpkins to get a fair weight comparison to assess value. So I'll have a chart at the end of the video that shows you what I figured out about that. In fact, I want to get the weight of 2 of these because I have a feeling that that may be easier to compare later, since we're dealing with higher weights than just a couple grams. I'll turn the scale back on. Here's a chocolate one. This is the milk chocolate pumpkin. Another cool face on him. So we'll weigh 1 for 5. So 2 should be an even 10. That's what I wanted to see. See yet another style. Collect the whole set. So there you go, 10.1 grams for 2 of them. There's no place to put it. So you say, hey, that's chocolate all right, but it has no filling. So ChocZero thought of making these holiday truffles. Now these are peanut butter filled. And let's see if they weigh differently. Oh, I got stuff on the scale. Just going to clean the scale off first. No, 15.8 grams. See if they all weigh the same. 14 grams. And 16.2 grams. So there's a little variation. I think I'll compare with this one. He looks like he's up for the job. And if you're wondering where the rest of these went, you're going to have to go see the other video where I did the comparison of Halloween candies in my unboxing. So, let's give it a cut. It's very smooth chocolate. Oh, I said that, but then it shatters on me like that. Probably because I hit a weak spot. But you can see it's got a substantial chocolate shell to it, and it's got, you can even see the kind of texture to the peanut butter inside. So let's see what it tastes like. Very nutty peanut butter. I really like that, and the white chocolate really pops. So I didn't expect it, but this guy actually had the hardest shell. Look at that, it still crumbles rather than cuts. And as powdery as the inside is, it really doesn't chop well. It's the only one that gave me that problem. What happens if I try to cut this milk chocolate? A little hard, but I can still make it. But as you see, there's no filling. So between these two, you have the pumpkin shake and a delicious peanut butter filling. Last year was the first year I saw that Snickers had jack-o'-lanterns. And the Russell Stovers has been doing these caramel apple pumpkins for a couple years now too. So the newest product is the sugar-free ChocZero. And unfortunately, this is not going to tell me. Oh yes, it will. It says 90 calories. So there you go. Halloween pumpkin candies compared for you, so that you can have a happy Halloween this year, next year, and forevermore. So keep watching these videos, comment and like, and subscribe to all that good stuff that makes me want to keep making these videos. Bring your questions and doubts and concerns into the comment box below. And have a happy Halloween.